Hey, scoot to your right a little bit. There you go. Yep.
Good? Okay.
I'd rather see you instead of that stupid painting.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who,
More right?
when did you make that painting?
I bought it from a thrift store like 3 weeks ago.
Actually, from a thrift store?
Yeah,
Oh,
not even kidding.
All right. Man, good taste.
Oh, I love that.
Only the best.
Well, everybody, our lucky winner, last week's lucky winner, Benjamin Henry Cleveland. Thanks
Henry. I never knew it was Henry. Wow.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know
Yeah.
the H.
Strong middle name. I've always
Podcast
respected you for it.
surprise. Good to be on.
Thanks for coming on.
It's an honor. I'm excited to get this going.
Me too. So we were talking a couple months ago about fast food, eating out, favorite spots, debating what's good, what's not good, what deals are floating around.
Is it just you two?
Just me and Ben
Just you
talking for
every like
40, 50
4
minutes.
months. John or I is good for like a random out of the blue text about like some places like value meal, which is a relationship trait, for a friendship trait I value.
Oh, I admire big
Those
time.
random one-offs.
If you don't have someone like that, I just feel sorry for you. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about and discuss our Mount Rushmore of fast food.
Yeah.
And I think maybe towards the end, we should try to come up with a group Mount Rushmore of fast food after getting into a little bit of what we individually...
So like your top 4?
yeah,
But more than that, like who do you want to be your 4? Is like the whole bigger or more important than the sum of the parts?
yeah, the Mount Rushmore. It's
But not in a desert island way though. Just in like your top 4. Just a different way to splice it,
Yeah.
so to speak.
yeah,
I love that.
it's very concrete. There's just a lot more things to consider because it is so concrete and so great.
Do they have
So-
to look good together?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Anyway, B. Cleve. I'm really curious. I've been curious since we brought this up 2 months ago, like embarrassingly curious.
Oh man, can I put a little dramatic pause in it? And can we? First of all, we gotta. I don't like ground rules. Not a rules guy, especially for games as this, so to speak. But what is a qualifier for fast food? I'm
Glad you brought it
gonna
up.
throw it out there. I'm gonna say has to have a drive-through more often than not.
And that's
'Cause
weird. I was just thinking that.
I am not to throw in a spoiler, but I've had this conversation with multiple people actually the last couple weeks.
Mhm.
And for example, spoiler alert, this is starting my Mount Rushmore.
Here we go.
Little Caesars has a lot of drive-throughs in Grand Forks, but nowhere else. Nowhere else have I seen a drive-through for Little Caesars.
That's interesting.
Really?
I got a lot of pushback
Because
in the groups I talked to.
now that
Because
I
they
think,
said that Little Caesars isn't fast food. But when you buy a $5 pizza hot and ready, tell me that's not faster than going through a drive-through. So I feel like that is maybe a one-off exception because if Little Caesars is not fast food, I don't know what is.
that's so interesting.
Because I think the hot and ready makes it fast food. I think that's like what pushes it across.
Wow.
It's fast as hell.
It's the one exception.
The exception to the exception.
Wow.
Is it because they moved into a building that already had a window twice here where we are?
Maybe.
Twice.
Now,
yeah.
now that I think about
Yeah,
it,
because the one on Gateway too. All like 2 of the Little Caesars in Grand Forks. There might be more. I can't remember, but they both have
only
a
one
drive-thru.
now. Rest in peace.
I mean, when you think
So-
about it, drive-through pizza is ridiculous.
Yeah,
We've
what a
come so
concept.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in no specific order. That's my one of my heads on my Mount Rushmore.
So you-
That's George
you would say-
Washington.
You wouldn't, even if Little Caesars didn't have drive-through, would you have two representations of Little Caesars on your Mount Rushmore, one with drive-through and one without?
If that's not against the rules, yes.
Okay.
But for
Respect.
now, Little Caesars will be one of my
Ballsy.
foreheads. And I feel like Little Caesars gets a lot of hate. But I think if you're going fast food, you're thinking value, things that I could buy in college, and taste.
Absolutely. And yeah, there is justification for why it gets so much hate around the country. Different places I've been hate on it more than I think they do here.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because there's no drive-through. I feel like
But,
your expectations lower one notch when there's a drive-through, but I could be wrong.
Right. I also got to say, though, too, someone is a real pizza lover if they like Little Caesars. That is the
Amen.
thing I think to be true. That could be a lukewarm take. But like a coworker of mine, we were talking about how much we both liked pizza, and he just was like, I was like, what do you think about Little Caesars? And he's like, I love Little Caesars. He's like, I'm all over that. And then that's when I kind of knew. I gave him that look. I was like you're a real one. I felt like I felt like at that point I just was like, oh, like I get this guy.
Oh, that's so
I could
refreshing.
Next on the list, I gotta go. This is kind of a Midwestern dark horse. This would probably be at the top of my list if I did have rankings, but I'm gonna go Culver's. I think all around, all American, great lineup. Fries are great. I love the crinkle cut. The custard is top notch. Concrete mixers too. That's the real deal.
Absolutely.
And then the butter burgers, obviously. I can't really say I've gotten much else there from them like the last couple of years, but I've heard good things I feel like about their like other sandwiches, but yeah, all around just good quality, high quality pick, and something I think people around the country might sleep on in this type of conversation.
I love the pick. Is that your Thomas Jefferson? What is it? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Teddy Roosevelt, Abe Lincoln? Is that the left or
Yeah.
right? Is that it?
I'm gonna
It's
go
Thomas Jefferson.
next one. I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A, which I think is kind of a risky pick for the Mount Rushmore because it's just kind of like a specialist.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's just chicken. But have you ever had a Chick-fil-A like chicken biscuit for breakfast?
Can't say I
Phenomenal.
have.
Any of their breakfast actually is pretty solid.
Wow.
So that is definitely in the conversation. And then the last one, maybe not the dandy of the pick or of the litter. I don't know what the saying is I'm going for, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Taco Bell. I've been in a huge Taco Bell
Amen.
kick lately. What was that?
Nothing. Keep going. Keep talking.
Preaching to
Gonna
the
go
choir.
Taco Bell for the consistent $5 box meals. I don't know why, but I love the concept, and I think I always feel like Taco Bell is like trying something weird to like keep
Absolutely.
I don't know to keep people coming back. It's all kind of the
Absolutely.
same stuff, wrapped a little bit differently, but it's good. I've been on a grande stacker box kick from Taco Bell.
Can you explain the
Oh.
contents of that one? Just for me.
It's basically, so get the Baja Blast, obviously. We all know that to be true. And then a regular taco, or it might be two regular tacos, like hard shell. And then it's basically like a Crunchwrap Supreme, except just with like meat and cheese. So that kind of rounds out my Mount Rushmore. So I think of it as kind of a reliable, probably not going to blow you away in the personality section, but always there and kind of a good available pick. Probably like a Thomas Jefferson,
Yeah.
so to speak, if you could personify Taco Bell.
I guess I personally think that it takes a real honest and genuine person to admit that Taco Bell is on their Mount Rushmore for fast food.
It's actually
Like-
great. Yeah, I'll stand by that.
Nobody wants to admit that. I was trying to think of mine
Why?
during this. Everyone thinks it's disgusting, but it's not.
I mean,
But to say it out loud and unprovoked,
cheers to that.
yeah.
So left to right, we have Little
Ooh,
Caesars.
Can I add honorable mentions? I have some written down.
Yes, absolutely.
I would not be doing my list justice without it. Mm-hmm. I already mentioned Little Caesars. Then I've got to go the Wendy's on South Washington in Grand Forks.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time where we would go there every like Wednesday basically before like church or youth group. And in my memory, I think that the design on the inside has only been remodeled like 2 times in the last 30 years. And it's like, I think, I can't remember the last time I've been to that location, but I think they still have like pictures of Dave Thomas on the wall.
Oh,
The
wow.
like founder of Wendy's. I think I got that name right. But in my head growing up, I thought that Dave Thomas was like from Grand Forks. I thought that until like probably too recent to admit, not high school maybe, but like I probably would have believed it at that time. I thought he was like a Ralph Engelstead figure
Wow.
type. Just imagine like having pictures of like Sam Walton around Walmart. I don't know, just
Yeah, that's
just like I don't know.
interesting.
I thought that was funny. And then last one, I have to throw out Runza.
Oh, yep.
It's like a chain of fast food restaurants only in Nebraska. So I have to throw a shout out there. Few food items better than a hot Runza at a Nebraska football game. A Runza, for our listeners who don't know, is basically like a Hot Pocket except with cabbage and beef, which sounds like the absolute grossest thing ever, but is like I promise it is good.
I can second that. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I think it kind of it's as good as it gets at the beginning, and I don't think it really peaks after that, but it doesn't really let you down.
The first one I had was actually mind-blowing. It's like different. Yeah. So good call, Runza.
But that's got to be my honorable mention, so had to show some respect to those spots.
So left to right, no honorable mentions. You have Little Caesars, Culver's, Taco Bell, and what was your last one?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A was the last one? I don't know what
It
the
was
order
third.
was. Third was Chick-fil-A. Well, surprise, surprise, our lists are very, very similar, which brings a little less drama than I would have liked, but I'm going to go down my list, left to right as well. First and foremost, Little C's. No surprise to anybody. For me, it just comes down to value, taste, and happiness on this one. And you can like semi-comfortably feed 4 with one hot and ready.
Yeah.
Like where are you gonna go to get that? Only Little Caesars.
For $5.
For five.
What is it now?
$5.
Is it still
It's still
$5?
$5. They went up to $5.50. Bad call. $6. Bad call. Back down to $5. Great call. And they're sticking to it.
They're
And I
currently
love it.
$5.
Currently $5 with tax $5.38
Wow.
here. But yeah, I have to say I had one in Wichita, and it just wasn't. It didn't have.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah, it was a miss. But still love you. Number 1, Little Caesars.
I think that's just how they are, though, because I had a roommate not so long ago from Houston, and he expressed the same thing. He's like, "Man, you're like," because we would go to Little Caesars sometimes, and he's like, "Man, you don't know what it's going to be. It's a roll of the dice." But that kind of is like
Part of the fun.
it's kind of the thrill, though. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you don't get that if you get takeout from Pizza Hut. You know what it is.
Exactly.
You know you're going to pay $20.
Exactly. My number 2, I put Chick-fil-A, just because in my mind, as far as like fast food has a drive-through goes, it's like the tastiest. Like your taste buds, my taste buds soar more than any other fast food drive-through when I'm getting Chick-fil-A, I think, than any other spot. I think I can say that pretty confidently. It's more expensive than a Mickey D's or BK, but it blows them out of the water. So that's my number 2. My number 3 was going to be Taco Bell. Not before you said it. I changed it like an hour ago. And for me, I had to take aftermath into consideration. And when I take aftermath into consideration, Taco Bell drops a few spots just out of my Mount Rushmore, unfortunately. So maybe I don't have
Black Hills somewhere.
maybe I don't have the kahunas to admit that Taco Bell is in my top 4. But for me, aftermath is something that I take into consideration. I also would like to give an honorable mention, as B. Cleve did, to McDonald's and Burger King. Neither made my list, but when you're doing a Mount Rushmore, I feel like greatness needs to be taken into account, and they are truly great. Pioneers in the industry, obviously more so McDonald's.
I gotta say too, there's a time and a place. Burger King,
And
rodeo burgers, and rodeo.
I was
going
gonna
to
bring that up. Rodeo burgers, yep.
Those had a place in my life at
Yep.
one point for a disgusting amount of time, and it was just made just makes you feel like garbage, but they were there.
For a long time. So anyway, had to bring them up. But my 3rd spot goes to Wendy's. I believe it was an honorable mention for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've just been there. I've been there a couple times with you. Mm-hmm. I remember going there after high school, hit up that dollar menu, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 chicken sandwiches for $4. That's like unheard of. And they were tasty. Their chicken sandwiches were really good until I met Chick-fil-A, of course. But 3rd spot for me, Wendy's. And 4th spot, I was thinking hard. There's a lot of good places out there. But for me, it would feel weird to not have 2 pizza places in my top 4 on my Mount Rushmore. So I'm putting Domino's in as my Abe Lincoln. Because since, when was it, 2000, they had a total ingredient makeover. And it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the more you order, the more points you get, the more pizzas you buy. And their crust is just fantastic. You can't take that away from me. Also, the pizza tracker.
Yeah, that's just fun.
It's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah.
So, Domino's is what rounds out my...
Does it qualify as fast food?
Domino's?
Yep. I mean, even pre-COVID, you could always drive up and pick it up. So that could count as drive-through.
True. I guess it's one of the top fast food joints in America.
I feel like you could in the COVID days that we are in, you could probably say fast food because it's contactless or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Now I feel bad for that pick, but I had to have 2 pizza places, so that's mine. Paul, you have not come pre-prepared with a list.
Is there time?
There is time. Have you had any thoughts in the past 10 minutes? What yours might be?
I will say on the average day, if I'm driving somewhere and I don't know where I am and I'm coming up on a town or city, I think I would most hope to see a Subway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
When
Number
do you get
two.
there?
Oh, what, Ben?
Oh, what do you get at Subway when you get to the Subway?
I like the meatball. I like the BMT.
Ben, I can tell you Ben appreciates that.
Oh
I
yeah,
can tell you that.
the meatball is a value. That's another story for another time.
Yeah.
But meatball never lets you down.
And they have really good breakfast stuff too. Even though they've gone away from letting you afford anything under $5.
They're sneaky.
They
That's
are.
why they didn't make my list. You can't
Yeah.
have a jingle that's that memorable, $5 footlongs, and then just have $9 subs.
But I do feel like, for as much as we all love Little Caesars, you are in the future paying $22 for like pills and surgery and other complications, whereas Subway might be marginally more healthy.
This is true.
Especially when
it
it's your
certainly
entire
is
meal.
healthier. If you're going for health, that's a decent pick.
Yeah,
That's probably one of the best picks.
but it just tastes good. He feels like you did something right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is hard to come by these days.
that's true. Yeah, I could see how that would squeeze into a Mount Rushmore then, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, I think it's reasonable. It's always there too. That and McDonald's
Yeah.
in every rest stop.
That's a good point.
You've got a chance to eat fresh.
The best ability is availability. Next,
What are the parameters?
there are
Drive
none.
through?
Sure. Well, I broke that rule, and I feel bad about it, so I don't know. Preferably a drive-through.
Taco Bell number 2 for me. And just like as far as like completing the poster on my wall of Mount Rushmore fast food, we've got Subway, we've got Taco Bell. I would like to see. I'll play ball. I like Domino's. Gotta have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fast.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Tracker makes it all the more
Pizza
faster
Tracker.
because like
It
you know when
does.
it's gonna be done.
It does, yeah.
It's just
That's
done.
big.
You go tap tap,
Yeah.
submit,
Saves your recent orders.
and then you can go back to what you're doing. So
Goodness.
in reality, it's like 10 times faster than McDonald's. Respect,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
the time you spend waiting in line at McDonald's,
That's a
you could have
good
been
point.
doing work.
Like,
Where
there's
you
always a little
know
bit of a
when-
line.
You know when your order's gonna be done because you got the Pizza Tracker.
Now I don't feel bad about having that in my fast food because it's fast.
It's fast
Yeah.
because the opportunity costs when you do McDonald's, and I know you could probably do pickup there, but like, do they have a burger tracker or a McNugget tracker?
They do
That's
not.
too much. That's too much to handle.
Confirmed they do not.
Yeah.
Just stick with what you know and just have a pizza tracker.
Yeah.
Unless McDonald's wants to do pizza.
Stay out of it.
I feel like you also, the longer you wait in line for like fast food, you just kind of feel like a sucker.
True.
Like I feel like I've been had a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if you're just like stuck waiting in like waiting in like a 10-car line for like your McDouble and like
Just feel
some
worse and worse
fries
about yourself.
McChicken, it's just like you just kind of feel it's too late to go back. You feel a little bad about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I totally did that this afternoon, so just throwing it out there. No hate for anyone.
My fourth and final and equally important as the previous three would most definitely need to be Dairy Queen.
Oh,
Yep.
I don't care
Yep.
how good their attempts at burgers and fries and all that are. Like, the fact that they have them, like, you get the burger, you get the fries, you get whatever they have, like, you know what's really coming. You know why you're there.
Wow.
So many memories. Drive-through makes it all the better after golfing with grandpa, and after coming home from friend's lake cabin.
Yeah.
You know, You're there for the goods, and you don't need all that beginner stuff because once in a while you just need some ice cream.
Fast food ice cream. Yeah. Genius.
It is.
I do want to say one more thing, Ben, back to your pizza point about someone really likes pizza when they like Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to emphasize that. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's one of my pet peeves when someone's like, oh, I love pizza. Pizza's my favorite. But then they're just, like, picky about pizza. Like,
Yeah, it's like
pizza's pizza.
it's all good. Like pizza, it's all marginally pretty good.
Yeah. Like, gourmet pizza is, like, almost weird to me. It's, like, not
Yeah.
pizza. I don't know. Hard to
I feel
explain.
like one of like the stars and stripes of like the great pizza flag is that it shouldn't cost too much.
Yeah.
Don't try to be something you're not. It's just
Yeah.
pizza isn't eaten with like a fork and knife at like a
Exactly.
4-star restaurant. It's eaten on your friend's like college couch with like 3 of your buddies. That's kind of
That's pizza.
view.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Totally agree.
So I don't know if you know this. You haven't lived here in a long time. You live in Arizona now, but there was 2 Little Caesars here. There were. Now there's only one.
Ooh. Wait, which one is left?
The Gateway one.
Really?
Yeah, which is interesting because we used to go to the 24th one all the time.
Yeah.
Great spot. And it's now been taken over by a place called Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza. And
Is it
man,
good?
I have to say, right away, a part of me just resented that place because
Yeah.
that was my spot.
Yeah.
We would go that was my spot.
It was the guy who stole your girlfriend. That's
Exactly.
what pizza was.
So
It sounds like
hated pizza for no reason. I mean, that was the reason. But
clever name though. Not gonna lie.
But it being a pizza place, I couldn't not give it a shot. I was angry, but I put my emotions aside. We gotta try this place.
If you like pizza.
If you like pizza, put your
Yeah.
emotions aside, dive in. It's so good. I think it's like I think it's the perfect pizza.
Really?
I think it's the perfect pizza. It's
I've never heard you say that.
yeah, it's like because I wanted to hate it, but it's like it's inexpensive.
It's fast food.
It's got a drive-through,
Yeah.
but it's also like locally owned, which adds some flair. Mm-hmm. It's still inexpensive, a little bit more expensive than Little Caesars, but what are you going to do? You can't beat that unless you're
How much for a
Slapshot
large are
before
we talking
2011. Shout out to Slapshot Pizza. It's like it's got that grease, you know?
yeah.
It's got that good grease. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but this pizza is not overwhelming. I don't want to give them too much of a shout out, but at the same time I do. I don't know. It just has it has that flair that I like. And the owner seems like a great person. I talked to him in the drive-thru a couple times. I don't know. Shout out to Pizza. And if you haven't been there, next time you're in town, we're going to go there. It's it's hard
I'd
to
love
explain.
I'm
There's something
questioning
about it.
why I haven't been there already.
Oh man, there's something about it.
I want to on the pizza train. I want to also Marco's Pizza. I'm a fan. I thought it was good,
Absolutely.
quality stuff.
Absolutely.
And then I feel like I'm imagining this, but did Slapshot Pizza have a drive-through at one point, or no?
I don't think they had a drive-through. But
It
that
was
was
just
that was
shaped like
their
a
spot.
circle, like the old one. Definitely a shout-out spot as well, because that was one of the OG
That was
pizza joints that we would drive to on a 20-minute lunch break in high school.
It was $4.50 for a jumbo pizza. Do you remember that?
$50 for a jumbo pizza?
No, $4.50.
Yeah. It
Great
had a little
place.
grease ball in it too, which I like.
Oh man, you got to respect that. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, do we want to try to come up with a group consensus Mount Rushmore? or do we call it individually and go our separate ways?
I think we've got Domino's.
You
Taco
think
Bell, it sounds like.
Wait, you didn't have Little Caesars in yours,
I didn't.
didn't?
No disrespect.
What do we think? I'd say, B. Cleve, you're our special guest. You make the call. What is the consensus? And you can just pick your own. What do you think is the consensus?
If we
Mount
had
Rushmore?
to be a United States.
In United States of fast food.
Probably gonna go Little Caesars,
Yes. Yes, you are.
Taco Bell. I don't honestly. Now that I look back, I don't think we gave it the respect it deserves. And I've eaten at Subway so much the last like 8 months, probably. And I'm gonna throw Subway in there because it's always there for you, and you never feel. Doesn't blow you away all the time, but you never feel bad after like you ordered a Subway. Like Paul said, you kind of feel like you did something right. Like you didn't screw it up. I'm gonna throw Subway in there. And then fourth, I think if I could kick it back to you guys, I kind of want
No,
to
you
throw
go.
the final
No, you gotta
cherry
say it.
on
All
top
you.
there.
It's all you. Runza.
Run no. Part of me wants to go because really the George Washington here that we haven't talked about is probably McDonald's.
Yeah. It was on neither of our lists, but that's a sign of integrity right there.
Yeah, part of my heart just wants to choose that because I know it belongs up there, and I know we haven't given it the respect it deserves. So I'll throw it up there out of decency.
I respect that.
Thank you.
I know it's coming from a good place if it comes from you.
So place.
Well, B. Cleve, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks
Yeah.
for the...
I don't know who else would have pushed this on to talk over probably a half hour about fast food spots, but we did it.
Not many. But thank you. We'll have you on again soon.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, fellas.
Time for a blizzard.